Hi guys, what's up? Tori here, and I got Miss Braylee here too. We're sitting on the floor in the living room because we were just trying to do a little tummy time, and she wasn't too impressed with it. But we were just trying to do a little tummy time, and also I've been wrapping some presents. She just got done eating a little bit ago, but I just wanted to do this video because I am now 2 weeks postpartum, and Braylee is 2 weeks old. She hit 2 weeks on Sunday. Today is Tuesday. And so I just kind of wanted to do a little update for you guys on how I'm doing, how she's doing, and all of that. So first, for saying how I'm doing really well. I really don't have any pain at all anymore. Sometimes towards the end of the night I'll be a little bit sore, but that it just kind of depends on what I do throughout the day. If it's been more of a chill day and I haven't done a whole lot, I won't really have any pain. Yesterday, because we were more busy and I had to take her to some appointments and stuff, I was a little bit sore at the end of the night, but like not anything bad. Like it was irritating, but it wasn't like bad where I felt like I had to take any medication or anything for it. The main thing that I have is there's been a lot of itching down there just because everything is healing, and I do have the stitches down there too that are healing because I did tear when I had her. But otherwise, like, yeah, that's all doing good, and my bleeding is very minimal. It's pretty much just kind of spotty at this point. Like, it's not like there's definitely no heaviness to it or anything like that. It's like a very mild spotty period kind of at this point. But yeah, overall I'm doing really well, and as far as even tiredness, like I'm not feeling near as tired. I've been getting some pretty decent sleep at night. The only time that I wake up is when she needs to eat. So, and that's the only time she really wakes up too, is when she needs to eat. So we've been getting pretty decent sleep at night. And even if like I do feel a little tired during the day, I can just easily take a nap. So yeah, there's that. So that's pretty much how everything's going with me postpartum so far. I'm definitely really itching to be able to get back into doing like workouts and stuff. I know I'm not at that point yet. Like they technically told me I could like increase my activity as I feel comfortable and able. But like to get back into full-blown workouts, I feel like I gotta wait till after I have my 6-week postpartum appointment with my OBGYN. So yeah. But like if it is nice, that happens to be fairly nice out. I have gone for a couple of walks, but it has to be decent enough out where not only do I feel like I can comfortably go for a walk, but I feel like I have to also be able to comfortably take her as well, because if it's super cold, it's not really good to take her out. So yeah, that's kind of that there. So I am really itching to get back into working out. As far as weight goes, my pre-pregnancy weight I said is 165 because that's like the last number I remember seeing on the scale before I got pregnant. But in general, like the last like 2 years, I've been bouncing between 160 and 165 anyway. But I say that my pre-pregnancy was 165 because that's the last number I remember seeing on the scale before I got pregnant with her. And then the last number that I saw, and I go by my home scale, not my doctor's office scale, because my home scale, for one, I always weigh in first thing in the morning, and I always weigh a little bit less on my scale than I do at the doctor's office. Again, because whenever I go to a doctor appointment, it's usually later in the day, so there's obviously like already water weight and whatnot on me. Whereas when I do a first thing in the morning weigh-in, there's not any of that on me. So the last number I saw on the scale before she was born was 197. So that puts me at like 32 pounds that I gained in my pregnancy, which is a perfectly normal, healthy weight gain. And then I stood on the scale Sunday morning, which I honestly probably should have done Saturday morning. That might have been a little bit wiser than Sunday morning, but just kind of based on my eating routine and stuff. But and I was 183 when I stood on the scale then. So I have lost a fair amount of weight just in her birth and all of that, but I obviously do still have a little ways to go to get back to pre-pregnancy. But I did wear a pair of my pre-pregnancy jeans yesterday, and they were snug, like they fit pretty snugly, but they fit and I could fasten them, and like they weren't like so tight that they felt super uncomfortable to wear. So like I took that as a kind of a win, and it made me feel good about myself, just because seeing those numbers, like it is kind of a bit of a mental battle for me being, a weight loss surgery patient and all that. So I kind of, at this point, am just kind of getting into the mentality of, all right, get back into my good, like, eating routine that I've had and just kind of get back into the swing with that. And then as I'm able to more, obviously get back into more doing workouts and stuff too, as I'm able. And I'll also have to figure it out just around her schedule and stuff too, and when she needs to eat. So that's everything with me. So now I'm going to update you on her, and she is doing really, really well. She started off nursing really good when she was first born, and then when my milk came in, she had a really tough time with it because it made my breasts like change and grow, and I also did get a little engorged at first too. And so it made it really tough on her, and she was not wanting to nurse very well. And I was having, like, I would always try to nurse her for a little bit, and then whatever, if I couldn't get her to do it after a certain amount of time, like, I wouldn't try for too long, because then she would get too worn out where she wouldn't even take a bottle. So I would always try for a little bit to nurse her, and even if I got her to do a few sucks, like, it was okay. And then I would pump off whatever I could, and then I'd give that to her and supplement her that way and make sure she still got nutrients, is what I started doing. And I have not had to use the pump now in a little over a week. She's been nursing super well, doing really good with it, which is amazing. And we just saw her pediatrician yesterday, and she weighed 5 pounds 11 ounces and was 18 inches long. So from her birth, she's grown a whole inch, because she was 17 inches at birth. And weight-wise, she was 4 pounds 13 ounces at birth. So she has gained a little less than a pound since her birth. So that is also really good. And her pediatrician was super happy with that. And she still wasn't quite on the charts, like, for weight and height yet. But her pediatrician, she said she was right on the line of being on the chart. So she still wasn't quite there, but really close to being there. But her pediatrician still was really happy. And everything looked really good at her 2-week well child yesterday. Her pediatrician said that she looked great and was a very healthy, good-looking baby. And just to keep doing what I'm doing to keep having her grow. And she even did tell me that probably starting like next week, I could start letting her go 4-hour stretches at night instead of 2 to 3 hours, and then just still do the 2 to 3 hours during the day. So that's also exciting for me, because that means a little more sleep. And then also she had to have her hearing retested yesterday, because her initial hearing test that she had after she was born, they did it twice on her. The first time they did it, she passed in the left ear but failed the right ear. And then they did it a second time a couple hours later, and she failed in both ears. So they told us to come back in 2 weeks to have her hearing retested. So she also had her hearing retested yesterday, and she passed totally fine, no issue. So she has great hearing, which is good to hear, because it's always a little nerve-wracking when they tell you that. But her pediatrician did say that it can happen quite frequently with newborns, that sometimes they'll just have like fluid kind of still trapped in their ears from birth and stuff. So then that can affect their ability to hear decently and pass the hearing test. So that's why they usually will say, like, let's wait 2 weeks, and then hopefully like all that fluid drains, and then they can hear just fine. And it also allows them to grow a little bit more, allow their eardrums to grow a little bit more, especially in her case, because she was so tiny, and still is tiny, because she's still wearing preemie clothes. There are certain preemie clothes she can't wear, just because some of them, like, for whatever reason, the arms are like super short on them. And there's a couple of them too that, like, they're just like uber skinny and teeny, and she doesn't quite work in those. But she still is in preemie clothes and preemie diapers. She has not moved out of those yet. I would say probably in the next couple of weeks, though, she'll probably be out of preemie diapers and into newborns. Clothing wise, I'm not sure how much longer she'll last in preemies. I'm hoping only a couple more weeks and she'll work her way into newborns, but we'll have to kind of see and what happens with that. But yeah, too, also developmentally, like, she's starting to have more moments where she'll be awake for a little bit, not necessarily super long periods of time, but she'll be awake for, maybe like 20 minutes, half hour or something, and just kind of spend time looking around. And she'll respond to my voice, and she loves looking at the Christmas tree lights. She'll like just stare at the Christmas tree lights for forever. and I just was doing tummy time with her. She wasn't too impressed with it, but she was trying to like lift her head a little bit during tummy time. But if I'm like holding her sitting up and like burping her, she will do it all the time where she'll move her head back and she'll move her head around and look around and stuff. So she does definitely got some neck muscle starting there, and she's starting to do like the little like gas smiles too, like what they say is gas. She's starting to smile a little bit with those, and her little faces and facial expressions she makes are just great. They're so funny. But yeah, and like I said, sleep wise, she's doing pretty good at night. Really, she sleeps pretty well at night. Last night, for whatever reason, she wanted to like eat a whole bunch before actually like settling down and going to bed, which was a little odd, but it could just be she's hitting a growth spurt too. But yeah, so overall, she's doing really well. I'm doing really well, and things are going pretty good. I mean, it's obviously an adjustment and stuff, but we're doing well, and that is what's important. So that way you guys can kind of see her face and stuff a little better. I'll go ahead and kind of lift her up. She is sleeping, but here she is, my little teeny squeaky. But her little squeaks are like the best. But so here she is. Can you say hi, Braylee? No, you're just gonna keep snoozing. Oh, there's your eyes a little bit. But yeah, so I'm gonna end this video here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one whenever that happens to be. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Bye.